into the actual reception, and we did a vow renewal, which I guess is not typical. I mean, we had been married 1 year when we did this reception, but we also wanted to do a vow renewal because a lot of people that were coming to this reception were not at the wedding, so we wanted to give them the feel of being there and seeing us married. So this is when I had my bridesmaids and he had his groomsmen. We had all of this, like a typical wedding. It was the typical wedding fashion, but we were already married, and we had already been married for a year. I had been wanting to do a themed wedding since even before I had even met my husband. This is exactly what we did is exactly what I had planned to do. And what we did was an Alice in Wonderland, steampunk, Victorian-esque wedding. One of my favorite movies of all time is Alice in Wonderland. I also love neo-Victorian or steampunk fashion, and I wanted to incorporate that into the Alice in Wonderland theme. Now, if you don't know Alice in Wonderland, the original book by Lewis Carroll was written in 1865, I believe. So it was written in the time when Victorian dress and that type of style was in fashion. So I wanted to kind of play off of that, and so I had my guests dress in Victorian clothing, and all of that was in our save the date and our invitation and all that, and I'll show you all that and get into that probably in another video. But so I wanted to do that theme, and we had planned a long time before to have it at his parents' home, which is a beautiful, beautiful estate in the country, and they have the most beautiful garden. And I had planned for the reception and the eating area to be the more Victorian-esque style, the vow renewal and that such to be on a side, and then in their garden, which is a beautiful garden, they have every, roses and every beautiful kind of flower, and that would be the Wonderland area. So if you don't know, in the movie, when she goes down the rabbit hole, she goes into Wonderland, and it's just crazy and wacky and everything's insane, and that's how I kind of wanted the garden to be in their house. So I'll kind of go more into it. This is a book that I made off of Shutterfly, and it just says, Our Wonderland Wedding, May 24th, 2014, and this was one of my favorite pictures, and this is in the back pasture area of me and my husband. I don't know if you can see that. And I love this picture for the front. I just thought it was beautiful. And then I kind of just do, in the book, I do from like a beginning to end situation with pictures and how things were happening. And the beginning kind of starts with me getting ready here, and then, champagne bottle, and then it goes into, a lot of this was just, these fans were just in his mom's room, which is where me and my bridesmaids got ready, in my husband's mom's bedroom, the parents' bedroom. And these were just some beautiful pictures. I thought this is of my shoes, and I will see if there's a better picture of that. Yeah, so I'm just gonna get close of the book so you can see. That is of my dress on my mannequin. This is actually my mannequin I use for my business. And vows, these are my vows that I wrote out. Well, that my friend wrote out, actually, because I don't have very good handwriting. And these are my shoes. I don't know if you can see that, but these little charms were bought for me by my husband. And this one right here has sand in a little bottle from the beach where we got married. And he gave this to me as our wedding present. And then these are just my shoes. I found these, I think, on Etsy or eBay or something. And then I put the ribbon into the shoes, or the lace into the shoes, to make them kind of just look more Victorian. And my dress is actually 2 parts. This part I had bought at a costume shop in Sacramento, and then the bottom part is like a very, very old vintage lace skirt that I found at a costume shop in Sacramento. So, I mean, everything you're going to see is basically I made it, or I found it, or it was done for us. And this hat I found off Etsy. A wonderful, wonderful woman who makes beautiful hats like this. And there's me, there's somebody putting my hat on, and me getting dressed, and my two of my bridesmaids helping me. And then this is my bouquet that I had made at a flower shop nearby. And then I had a little cameo. This is a cameo given to me to use by my mother-in-law to put on my bouquet, our rings, and the flowers, more flowers. And then this is my husband and his groomsmen. And this is on a staircase. It's just a beautiful staircase inside his parents' house, actually, that just, we were looking at it and it just looked so steampunk, and it fit perfectly with our theme. And then my 3 bridesmaids in their Victorian dresses, and they look great. And here's my husband up here with his fashionable cuffs. And then there's just some pictures of me. We did these pictures before I had actually gone out to the ceremony, and these are just some of me inside my husband's parents' bedroom. And then this is actually outside. This is my husband, and this is my husband's uncle, who was the quote-unquote pastor, even though he was just kind of like a officiator for what was happening, and was kind enough to do that for us. And this is the backyard area. This altar here you see behind him, my husband built for the ceremony, and then some of my bridesmaids walking out with his groomsmen down here. The next one is just us here, me going down the aisle, our guests on either side, and then everybody there kind of looking beautiful. And there's me, and then we read vows to each other and basically just kissed and smiled, and that was it. I mean, it wasn't we weren't really getting married because we already were married, but it was still fun, and we loved doing it, and we had a lot of fun. And then this kind of goes into the decorations we did for the Wonderland side. My husband's aunt made a lot of the Wonderland decorations, and I thought they were just so cute. She made all of these little favors for everyone, key to Wonderland with a little clock and a key for each person to take home with them. And then here's a little basket that they came in with the little cardmen, which I thought was so cute. And a lot of these things you see, like this bird cage, that's actually my mom's that I just took from her house because I thought it looked very steampunk and beautiful. And then here's some of our guests sitting, and then here's some of the decorations on the tables, which I don't know if you can see that. I had books, old books. Most of these books were like from 1940s and older. And then I had teacups that I had glued onto each other with pearls and other decorations on each table. And then these table numbers that are reminiscent from the movie with the little knob. These were made by my husband and my mother's husband. So my stepfather were made by the 2 of them, and these were made out of wood, and they were made from barrels of wine, which they looked beautiful. And then here is part of the garden entrance where you came in from. This back here was where people were eating, and then you come through, and this is part of the rose garden. Just some pictures of me and my husband, and all of the lights that you see back here, my husband did put up himself. And just family pictures, Lots of people came. We probably had about 100 guests. And then we had made, in this greenhouse area, we had made a photo booth with people who you could take little props, hats and such, and our photographer was there taking pictures of people in our photo booth, which was really an awesome thing. And then here's some of our friends and family. And this is an awesome picture with my husband and his best friend who found a snake in the backyard, who were loving that. And my husband's aunt also made all of these cardmen, which are so, so amazing. She's very, very talented. And she made those, and those were all in the back. And then I don't know if you can see that, that's the greenhouse. This greenhouse my husband built. And actually, he didn't build it for the wedding, but he had built it for his mother. And all of these were cards inside. So it was very Queen of Hearts-esque. And we have little flowers in the... This is one of my favorite pictures too, us in front of that beautiful tree they have. I think that's, I don't know. My husband's the plant man. And then this is us on our first dance. This dance floor my husband built for the wedding. And it's beautiful. And that was wonderful. Our first dance, I think, what was it? It was to Jason Mraz, I Won't Give Up. I love Jason Mraz. This is me and my mother-in-law dancing, and I just love her costume. It's so cute. And then this is just more dancing pictures. My husband busting a move. These are some beautiful black and whites that were taken by the photographer. I just love it. It looks so old Victorian-esque, and it's just great. It's pictures of us in the groomsmen and bridesmaids. And then this is just a little, I made this book obviously, so I have a little Mr. and Mrs. that I thought was cute. And then there's me, and that's on the bed, and I like that picture, it's really pretty. And then this one is of my husband pointing, and this is in the garden, to the little gnome door. He actually made that gnome door too for his dad, I think for a birthday, and he's pointing to it, and it's just so funny. I love his little hat, he just looks so cute. And then there's this a beautiful kissing picture out in the pasture as well. On a bridge, this little bridge goes into the garden. My husband built this bridge also. And yeah, he's an amazingly talented person. This is a beautiful picture that is inside the garden, and my mother-in-law had put that little rabbit there with the hole. She made that little hole for the wedding. And we found these rabbits, and it's so cute. I mean, you really think that you're going to jump down there, you're going to be in Wonderland, which we are, because this is a Wonderland we created. This is a really great picture of inside the greenhouse. All these ginormous flowers, my husband's aunt made, and she put all of these inside to make us look like we're tiny. And it's just so amazing. I mean, look at that. She did a great job. She made all these little mushrooms also. These, I think she made out of paper mache. And this is one of our rings on top. And then my husband found a little snail and put that on top because he thought it was cute. And it's just beautiful. And this is one of my favorite pictures too of us with the mushrooms. And there's a little snail there too. I thought that picture is just amazing. I got so many compliments. And in the back, I don't know if you can tell, but these are just beautiful flowers. I mean, I think they're daffodils. I don't know, but daffodil is my favorite flower, and that just looked so cute to me. And that was it for the book. There's some flowers on the back. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the wedding. I'm proud of everything we did, because there were some, I guess, hiccups in ours, and nothing that anyone else could notice. You know, the guests had a great time and they thought everything was beautiful. It was just things that I obviously noticed being the bride, and that, you know, I think about, but it's because I was, you know, I had planned this for a year and a half, and for me, I wanted perfection, and I had this idea in my head that it had to be exactly the way I wanted it. So obviously, and I wasn't a bridezilla or anything, but there were definitely things looking back that I wish I had thought about, or, you know, did a little differently, and I feel like I can help people out with that if they are planning to do their own wedding, because I know weddings are expensive, and I know we, you know, didn't want to spend a insane amount of money. I will tell you that probably with everything from start to finish, we probably spent about $6,000 to $7,000. I would say 75% of it came from family, and then the rest came from just us saving and us buying things. You know, I was out all the time at yard sales looking for teacups, and at, you know, thrift stores looking for this and that, and it was just, it was a lot of work. Like, I'm not going to lie, it was an insane amount of work, and but that is what you have to do if you want to have a wedding for a certain amount of money, and if you want to have a wedding that only you know how to plan, or you know what you want. You know, it's hard to tell a wedding planner, no, I want it exactly like this. I want an Alice in Wonderland themed steampunk Victorian wedding. You know, it's hard for somebody to understand exactly what you're looking for. So if you want something like that, or you're looking for something specific, you're probably going to have to do it yourself, which is great, and I did have a lot of fun, but it was insanely stressful. And I'm not gonna lie, on the day of the wedding, I mean, the pictures, you wouldn't be able to tell, but I was ridiculously stressed out. It's just what happens, you know, when you plan something down to the last detail. I mean, I handmade all the invitations. I did everything that you see was basically from my own brain. Everything that you saw was from my own brain and my own imagination and what I wanted to do. And it was hard. We could not have had the wedding that you just saw in these pictures without our family, without people giving up time and money and energy and sleep to do this. So that is something I want to reiterate, that it was ridiculously time consuming and hard and difficult, but it was beautiful, and it was amazing, and it was something I will always remember, and I will always have pictures to remember and say, wow, we did that. I did that. That's insane that we, you know, had an idea and it came true. It just came true. I mean, it was amazing. And so, you know, being that it was such a unique experience, I really did want to do more videos talking about individual, like, situations and things that you need to do to prepare yourself, if you're planning a wedding yourself, if you're doing a wedding yourself, because there's so many things that I wish I would have, you know, saw on YouTube and been like, wow, that would have really helped, and I should have done that, or whatever. So, you know, it's something that I really feel like people could use and people would want to know, because I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. So yeah, that was our wedding, and even thinking about it now, it makes me feel a little bit crazy, but that's okay. It was beautiful. I'll get into more specific details at another time, because there's so much to talk about. There's so much to go into. It's kind of insane. But if you are looking to do a DIY wedding, if you're looking to do something unique and different, if you're interested in a specialized wedding and you need a little help, or you think that, you know, maybe you don't think you need help, but you feel like watching other people's journeys would help you, I would say stay tuned and watch the videos that I'm going to be doing here soon, and ask me questions. I'm open to any questions you have, because yeah, I should have done that before I started this craziness. But, yeah, so stay tuned, like this video, and I will see you guys all very soon. Peace and love.